The South American state of Chile has a history very similar to ours. It suffered for years under a dictatorship, and after democracy was restored, it also had a truth commission to help it cope with its past. One of Chile's most important writers and playwrights, who is also something of a contemporary international philosopher, is Ariel Dorfman. Dorfman visited South Africa recently, and I traveled with him. He met with Archbishop Desmond Tutu and other truth commissioners, and he was very moved by his visit to Robben Island. Just before he left the island, he had a conversation with a very interesting man called Gerald Brandt. Brandt has been living on Robben Island for 7 years, and he was the last head of the prison. Today, he works with some of the people he once guarded in the Robben Island Museum. This is part of their conversation. And if you're wondering about Dorfman's American accent, he has been living in exile in America for a number of years, and he is presently professor at Duke University in North Carolina.
I was asking recently one of your guides, and he said this is a symbol, it's not a prison anymore, it's a symbol of reconciliation. And I said, well, how is it a symbol of reconciliation? And he said, it's because at this point people who used to be warders here are now working with former prisoners hand in hand. And I just was wondering how this was for you, because you've been here for 7 years now, and you are now working with some of the people who you were guarding.
That's right.
What does that mean? I mean, it just seems very strange to me. It seems wonderful but strange at the same time.
It's a big challenge from both sides, I think, to really get to know each other and understand each other. But we're working towards a common goal, and all of us, the former warders that are still on the island, as well as the former political prisoners, see Robben Island as a place which is very, very special to all of us. Robben Island is the symbol of democracy in our country.
Yes.
And if we can get it right here, I think it's an example for the rest of the country.
And for the rest of the world, really, in the sense that if you can get people who, one was prisoner and the other was holding the prisoner together, then there can be peace between you, there can be peace between others, right? But how do you deal with the fact, I mean, what do you tell them? Why did you do what you were doing to them?
They don't ask us the question.
They don't ask that question
I think we all understand that we were part of a system which was in place at the time. So we were doing our job in that system. And I think there's a lot of forgiveness from their part. We don't have any feeling that there's any hostility against us.
Yes.
They're treating us very well. We get along, and what is so amazing is we are getting to know each other now, and through that we've seen that there are so many things that we actually have in common. Yes. And that we've always had in common, but we were never allowed in the previous system to talk about these things or to talk to each other about these
So
things.
you don't feel as if there is any need for you to repent, sort of say, forgive me, I'm so sorry for what I did?
No,
do you need to do that? Or is it done every day simply in the way you work with them?
I don't think it's expected for us to use words in saying that. I think the behavior towards each other and the help that we give each other in this new job of ours and the new challenge shows that we respect each other.
But does it show, I'm sorry to put this in this way, does it show you that you're sorry for what happened? Is that necessary? I'm asking because the country seems, some part of the country seems to be expecting people who were in part of the system to say, I'm so sorry. Others say, no, it's all right. Let's just prove how sorry we are by making things better.
I think that's the route we're taking.
The better route is day by day confronting the difficulties.
That's right.
Rather than saying things like that.
That's right.
Would it be humiliating for you to say I'm sorry?
No, it wouldn't.
It wouldn't be a problem. You just feel that you're now doing your job for democracy.
That's right. I feel very much part of it, and I think that even in the past, even in the system, we must remember that all of the people that worked in the previous system were not racist, were not full of hate towards others in our country. So I can't speak on behalf of the system, I can't speak on behalf of people in correctional services, but for myself it's never been a problem to communicate and be friends and work together with persons of all race. So I just live it out.
So you have gone to being a person who is guarding prisoners to somebody who's guarding memories.
I have a lot of memories.
It is a very good place to go. I mean, it's a good way of doing in the sense of saying you are ready to take home these prisoners, and they're ready to take you home too.
That's right.
Well,
and that's exactly what's happening now.
Well, it's a great symbol of hope for me. Thank you very much for talking to me, and congratulations for making this transition. You know, I have the impression that the transition to democracy happens in every human heart. It's not something which happens in the whole country if everybody doesn't do it. And this, I think, is a very encouraging sign to have come today to Robben Island and for you to be the last person to say goodbye to me on this island. If you were the warder of the island, and now you are the greeter of the people who come to look at the memories of the past, and that's wonderful for me.